Giving Keeper here at the Gladys Porter Zoo. Today I will be talking about the African bulldog existentials. As the name suggests, they are native to Africa, specifically sub-Saharan Africa. African bulldogs are usually found in open grasslands and savannas where they are the largest frog in southern Africa. They are sexually dimorphic with a huge difference in size. Unlike many other frogs, African bulldogs are the females being much smaller than males. Males can grow over 9 inches long and weigh over 2 pounds. Females only grow to about 4 inches. However, color can also be unreliable for discovering African bulldogs. Both sexes have bright green bodies and cream or orange throats. Because their habitats are very hot and dry, they spend months dormant underground to escape the harsh summer weather. They will bury themselves using special calluses on their hind feet. Once underground, they shed layers of dead skin to create a cocoon, which helps protect them from drying out during estivation. Once the rainy season begins, the African bullfrogs resurface to eat and breed. The males gather in flooded pools to fight for the female's attention. Only the biggest and strongest males will get to breed through competition can be fierce. During breeding, a female will lay approximately 4,000 eggs. When the eggs hatch 2 days later, the male looks after them to protect the tadpoles against predators and from desiccation, even digging new pools to make sure they have enough water. But he may also eat some of them. He is not the only one. Tadpoles will also eat other tadpoles, which is just one example of African bullfrogs' voracious appetite. They are opportunistic carnivores and will eat practically anything that will fit into their mouth. They will eat invertebrates, small mammals, snakes, birds, fish, and of course, other frogs. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more videos.
Hello, humans. Tried to find a cute place for a background, and there's just going to be this blank right next to my face. That's cool. A very popular pet of mine has been Urkel, my giant bullfrog, and a lot of people are wondering where he is, and if I haven't made a video with him, and that I should make a video with him. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. Come here, come here, come here, good boy. But you're scared of it. So yeah, I figured that I would make a video with Urkel. The reason that I don't really do videos with him is because he lives all the way with my parents, who just moved 3 hours away, and that's quite a long way away. So whenever I'm here, I'm going to do my best to make videos with the animals that are here. So I am going to go ahead and get Urkel so you guys can see him, and I will be right back. I just realized there was music on the entire time that I was filming my intro, so that's cool. But I turned it off, so it's just me now. I got the frog. Oh, sorry buddy. Here's Urkel. I got him. Look at him. He's smiling. He's ready to be on camera. Here, I'll let it focus on him.
Smoking vanished more. Now I have a battery operated out. My tip is, stop thinking it's gonna really happen.
How beautiful he is. Urkel says hello. Hello. How you doing, buddy? I love your feet. You got some really cute feet. He is a big, big boy. I thought that I would record him eating some mealworms if I can get him to eat some mealworms. And also, I remembered that I would download apps that were like cat toys, like app cat toys with like little bugs crawling around on the screen. And he would try and get the bugs off the screen. So I thought that would be funny to record. Look at his foots. They're such cute foots. Look at the foots. Hello. Everybody was freaking out, not in my bullfrog video because I had to retowel, but when I was doing the video that I did, with my Pac-Man frog, everybody was freaking out because I had them on my hands for like 30 seconds. So here you go, I got my frog in a towel, so
He's chilling. He literally looks fake. Like, he looks like a toy. Hi Urkel. You're such a good boy. Yes. Look at his feet. He's got the cutest butt. I am gonna go ahead and get some worms for this little guy so we can feed him.
Hey guys, welcome back to Biology Channel. If you are a fan of sports, especially boxing, then you have to know that attention of Vanda Holyfield. In this video today, we bring you everything you need to know about him and hope you enjoy it. Let's go.
Stop here. We're talking about when Tyson did it, right?
It's this here, right? Let me see it. Is it? Oh, it's a little piece. It's right there.
Nicknamed The Real Deal, Vander Holyfield is an American professional boxer born October 19, 1962 in Milltown, Alabama. He reigned as undisputed champion, cruiserweight in the late 1980s, and heavyweight in the early 1990s. He remains the only boxer in history to win undisputed championship in two weight classes, as well as the only four-time world heavyweight champion who had professional boxing in 2014. He's ranked in the list of great fighters of all time in multiple media outlets. Holyfield married for the third time to former nurse Ken and Gabriella Smith. Their marriage lasted for 9 years before divorcing in 2012. They have two children, Ellie and Eve Holyfield. Ivana has always been known to be a lover of women and continued with this habit after his marriage. He has 5 adult children with love affair named Egon, Imani, Eden, Eliza, and Elijah Jedediah.
in pet stores, it's the giant African bullfrog. Probably one of the coolest things that you can actually find in a pet store. However, this one is just a baby. This one is about 4 months old. And the coolest thing about these that most people don't realize is that they grow into something that's massive. And I have an adult here for you. So that little tiny frog can potentially grow up into this. 4 to 5 pounds. This one is a male. The male in the species gets much larger than the female. And males commonly will have this orange color in the throat area. Very easy to take care of, semi-aquatic, in a cage environment that has both a dry terrestrial area and water area, so they have the ability to both dry out and get wet. And the other question that I get asked all the time is, what do they eat? Everybody assumes that frogs and toads eat insects, which is true. When they're small, they do eat insects, but they are opportunistic, and when they grow into something this large, they have the opportunity to take down and consume anything that will put down that nugget out of the way. So we're talking about birds, mice, rats, wild snakes, and so for those of you that think you want to buy a cute little toad or frog, make sure the species that you find is appropriate for what you expect it to do at its full potential. Let it
Here I'm holding an African bullfrog. Its scientific name is Pixie-cephalus expressus. It is found in eastern and southern Africa in the late subtropical and tropical dry shrubland. Unlike most other species of frogs, the male is actually larger than the female. The male can be up to 9.5 inches and 10 inches, and the female up to 4.5 inches. Very interesting fact about this particular bullfrog is the amount of parental investment the male puts into the tadpole. During mating, the female likes to lay her eggs in ephemeral bodies of water. Ephemeral bodies of water don't last very long, therefore the male will use his snout to dig tunnels to the next ephemeral body of water for his tadpoles so they don't dry up in the water. The body of this dry is very broad. They have a short, narrow snout, and they actually have teeth-like projections on their lower jaw, which is fairly uncommon in frogs. This African bullfrog can weigh 3,000 to 4,000 weight in shallow water, and they can have little beauty after being raised. The African bullfrog is carnivorous and will eat just about anything it can fit into its wide jaws. It likes to eat insects, though, and small mammals. This bullfrog is very interesting because of one of its special adaptations. It lives in dry, arid climates, and in order to survive drought, the bullfrog can go into a state of dormancy. It can hide underground after creating a cocoon that is watertight. This cocoon keeps the specific bullfrog from losing its water, and it loses half the water that another frog does to then find food. During this state of dormancy, it gets its water and hydration from water that it stores out of its bladder. Once the rainy season begins again, the moisture will seep through the ground and will moisten the cocoon, weakening the frog to dormancy. The frog may even eat its cocoon again. That's not the case.
Alright guys, so today we're going to feed Java. He is an African bullfrog, a large one at that. See right here. We have a smorgasbord of food for him today. We're going to feed him a mouse, pre-killed. We have, it looks like 6 minnows, and we have some night crawlers. I don't know if you'll eat all this. Let me sure worth a try. Look at him. He's getting excited. You know what time it is. Start with these guys. There you go. Start with something small. Quickly get that. One. Another one. Roll. I've had Java since he was, I don't know, about the size of a quarter. He's about the size of a small dinner plate now. There's another one. Meaty meat. Anybody. Struggling. But the tail part of the worm is the one that's going to squeeze out of his mouth. Oh, you lost it. Oh, you got it back. Come here, buddy. There it goes. 3 night crawlers. Oh, big one. Save these into 4 night crawlers. For sure. Oh, he spit that one up. He's got too many in. Sometimes I use this little stick here to keep my hands out of the picture. Well, to keep my hands away from his mouth, not the picture. So we're at 4 night crawlers. Let's see what a few minnows offer. These are already dead. Oof. Oh. One minnow. Come on. There's 2 minnow. Might be able to look too when he opens his mouth a little close. See, a lot of people mistake what you're seeing there as teeth. These really aren't teeth. It's actually part of his jaw. They kind of form to look like teeth. It's really more to grab the prey, keep them in place. Let's do 3. for a third one. You know what we're going to do? Forget this. Go to the big boys. Ooh. Oh, man. There we go. Ooh. He's got blood running down his mouth. He's an animal. Ooh. Turn you around, big frog. Oh, he can barely walk. He's full. Oh. So these frogs in the wild, they don't get very many opportunities where they can be out to eat. So when they actually do get a lot of rain, they come out of the mud, they definitely will eat as much as they can. He's struggling to walk. Let's see if he wants another fish. Well, looks like he's full. We got 4 night crawlers, 2 minnows. Come here. There he is. And a full-size mouse, an adult mouse. Oof. Trying to get it all down. There you have it. Got a African bullfrog scrubbing down on a plate of food. Minnows, crawlers, mouse. That's something. If you want to take a look, it's the cage I have them in. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you later.
On a road trip, do you need power or optimum power? If that battery in your kid's toy dies, you are in for a long ride. So upgrade to Optimum. Duracell Optimum.
What's up, YouTube? Daniel Carter at AfroHerkeeper here. This video has been a long time coming. If this is your first time watching my content, I'm glad it's this time. If you're one of the many viewers who has been waiting over a year for this video, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Without any further ado, I'm going to open on this. I am proud to present the newly refurbished of AfroHerkeeper. My life is a bit of a mess, but I like it that way. Between juggling school, work, dozens of animals, and a constant drive to explore, things can get pretty hectic. But one thing always stays the same: a burning passion for wildlife and a desire to preserve the biodiversity of our world through public education, conservation, and animal care. My name is Daniel Carter, and you're watching AfroHerkeeper. At this point, it should be readily apparent that there is a lot going on in this one little room. But before we actually get into the nitty-gritty of all of these incredible enclosures and animals, I want to take a moment to address some of my long-term subscribers. If you have really good observational skills, you'll notice that I have two pretty big lizards right here next to me. Now, Blue, the Argentine black and white tegu here, has been with me over the last year and has never left this house. My northern blue-tongued skink, on the other hand, spent the entire year at a local elementary school as a class pet. I bring this up because I want to make it known to my long-term subscribers that every single animal I brought to the elementary school is no longer there. The more delicate animals that I put in the care of a friend have almost all been returned at this point, except for my gold dust day geckos, Phelsema laticata. My friend has actually had a lot of success breeding them, and he's going to be keeping the majority, but a pair of them will be returning to me shortly. So since we've got these two big, beautiful lizards adjacent to me right now, I think it is worth starting off our room tour on these guys. So Skink here, or Samantha as the elementary does have an enclosure, but it's not in this room. Seeing as I just got him back from the elementary school, I have cleared spaces here. We're not going to be covering his enclosure today. I just wanted to show you guys.
Aaron here for Zolotech, and this is the new Series 4 Apple Watch. This is actually box that it comes in. If you get the aluminum one, this is the space gray aluminum one. Let's take a look. And as you can see, it says Series 4 space gray aluminum case, black sport loop, and this is the cellular version. So these start at $399 for the 40 millimeter. This is the 44 millimeter, so $429. But if you want GPS and cellular, it's another $100. So this is $529. If you get the stainless steel watch, it's more and comes in a different box, and maybe we'll check that out later on. Let's open this up here. So this one does not pull off the top of the box. We have to do this, it looks like. Now these are actually fit that way, which is a little bit different. And then it looks like, there we go, it opens up like that. So we've got, I haven't seen a box like that before, but that's kind of interesting. We'll move that aside. And it looks like we have the watch here and then the band separately, so they could box them separately. So let's open the band first. This is the Nike Sport Loop, and this one is actually the just Sport Loop. It says hook and loop closure. So let's see if we can open this up here. So there we go. We'll remove that. And it's a similar nylon material, but if you look at it side by side, this one has a little bit of a kind of reflective rainbow glittery color in it. It looks like, I don't know if you can see that, but that's what that one looks like. Let's take a look at the actual watch itself. This is something I've been looking forward to. It's a pretty big advancement, and I think it will be a pretty significant upgrade for most people. So there we go. There's the box. Nothing there. Designed by Apple in California. Now there were rumors that this or the next generation was not going to come with this plug. It looks like this one does, so I'm glad to see that. You've got your little inductive charger there. Let's see what we've got in here. Just open your band box. It's telling you how to turn it on, and then it tells you how to charge it on the back. So we'll move this aside. Let's take a look at the watch itself. Now this one is a little bit different than what we've seen before. So let's see, it's got this little padded case that's around it, and it looks like we can just slide it off, I guess this direction. And you can tell that this is the cellular model by this red ring. Previously, you have this red dot here that's on this one. Now you just have the little red ring on it. So let's push this up here. And by doing that, apparently I pushed the button to turn it on. But you'll see the bottom looks a little bit different, and that's because this has a new ECG monitor, electrocardiogram monitor, and it uses that between the button and the digital crown to actually measure your ECG. I'm not sure if that's available yet, but it should look really nice. So you'll see there's the Apple Watch. And it says bring it close to an iPhone. I guess we'll just use my current one since I don't have the new one set up just yet, but let's bring it close here. It says do you want to set up the Apple Watch? Continue. Just like before. Then setup is new or restore from backup. I'm going to restore from backup the current one I'm using on my wrist. There we go. And while we're waiting for that, let's put the band on. and it's linking the account. Now you can see this is a little bit thinner, not much. It's 10.7 millimeter thin, or at least it looks like it. Let me take my other watch off so we can compare them. And looks a little bit thinner. You can see there. It is a little bit different. The speakers are different on the side. On this side, you'll see it's a little bit different. And then on the bottom, well, the bottom is a lot different. You'll see here, could have taken the bands off, but you'll get the idea here. On the bottoms, they're a lot different as well. This is the new Series 4 on the left, so you get the idea. Very different, but the nice thing is the bands will work on any of them. So any of your old bands will work on the new one. So that display is nice and big. Now you have some options. It says low heart rate notification, high heart rate notification. Apple Pay, we'll set that up later. Emergency SOS. We'll skip cellular since I'm not probably going to use that. I don't use that most of the time anyway. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But there's the digital crown moving these. It's supposed to have haptic feedback. I don't feel it yet, but maybe later. Now you'll see the display on the new one's a little bit larger. It's edge to edge and curved on the edges as well. Looks really good. The watch is ready. It says press the digital crown to start. There we go. And that's the previous watch face I had. Let's take a look at some of the new ones here. See if we can add any. And unlike the other Apple Watch, these go edge to edge, which is really nice. The water one I kind of like. It goes right out to the edge there. Raise to speak. Got vapor. This is an old watch face. We've got some photos. And let's see if we can add the new one. There's a little bit of haptic feedback here. It's kind of shaking the whole watch itself. There's the new one, the infograph. It says no events today. It's got to get some information in the upper right. It's got UV levels. It's pretty nice. It's customized. You can make that white or black or red. Looks pretty good. And then UV index. This one is weather. This one is activity. And this one is the timer. So I think I'm going to keep all of these. I think that looks pretty good. I'll use this for a few days, and we'll see if the EKG stuff I don't think is here right away. We'll go here, home, and see what we've got. Walkie-talkie, of course. Let's go to heart. It doesn't have the EKG yet. That's coming in an upcoming update. But let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Did you pick one up? Is this your favorite thing this year from Apple so far?
Hey there everyone, hope you're doing great today. In this video, we're going to be going over the top 50 tips and tricks for your Apple Watch Series 4. Alright, so before we go ahead and begin with the video, go ahead and give it a like. It really helps us out. In this channel, we do tech reviews and tutorials, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the bell to receive notifications. Without further ado, let's get right in. So here we have it, the Apple Watch Series 4, beautiful watch here. Let's begin, shall we? So number one, we have custom message replies here. So when you receive messages, if you scroll down, you can see there's quick responses here that you can send right back. But maybe you want to add your own customized responses. So this is very easy. All you have to do is open the watch app on your phone and go to messages, and here in default replies, you can go ahead and add a reply, type in the reply that you wish to add, hit done, and it will be saved to the Apple Watch. So let's go ahead and check it now. And as you can see, the reply that I added is here at the bottom. So number two is very useful. If you lost your phone, you can press this Find iPhone button on the control center,
and it will activate a noise on your iPhone so that you can find it. If you force press on it, then the flash will also light up on your iPhone, making it easier to find. Number 3 is taking screenshots. So you can press the power button and the crown at the same time, and it will take a screenshot of the Apple Watch. You can open up your photos on your iPhone, and the screenshot will show up there as well. To enable this, just open up the Watch app on the phone, go to General, and enable screenshots. Number 4 is very useful in the event of an emergency. You can press the power button, and it will give you the option to slide to call an emergency. You can also set up context so that in the event that you do call emergency, it will send a notification to your designated contacts. You can add them here. You'll have to set up a medical ID with your information and select the contacts that you wish to notify in the event of an emergency. Number 5 is the heart rate monitor. So the heart rate monitor will measure your heart rate at all times, and you can set up to receive notifications if your heart rate is elevated or is low. Here you can set it to be notified if your heart rate goes above a certain beat per minute, or you can set it if it goes below a certain beat per minute as well. So 6 is features here with the weather app. If you select the weather app, once you select your location, you can force press on the screen and it will give you different options here to select from. You can check the condition of the weather, the temperature, or the percentage of rain. So number 7 is you can actually change the way you view your apps. If you force press on the apps, you can change to list view and view them like this. And you can navigate around with the crown, or you can force press and change them back to grid view. You can also rearrange the layout of the apps, so you can press on each app individually and move it around as you would on your iPhone to set them up as you like. You can also do this on the phone with the Watch app. Go to app layout and same thing, just press on each app and move it around as you wish. Number 9 is to view recent open apps. Just hit the power button once and it will open up all of your recently open apps. Number 10 is closing open apps. Just go into recent open apps, slide them to the left and hit the red X and it will close the apps individually. Number 11 is to change the watch face. All you have to do is slide from right to left or from left to right, and you can select different watch faces. You can also change the watch faces in the Apple Watch app in the iPhone. Here it will show you all of the app faces available, and you can also download some more as well. You can also customize each watch face with different ways of customizing them here and set them up from the Watch app. There we go. Number 12 is that there's 2 ways to set a photo as your watch face. You can select the photo, force press, create watch face, and hit photos face. And it will set up the photo as your watch face. But you can also force press, create watch face, and select kaleidoscope. And it will set up the picture on the watch face as a kaleidoscope. So number 13 is there's a couple different ways to send messages with your Apple Watch. So you can select force press and it will give you the option to send you a message. Here you can dictate what you want it to write, or you can also select this writing option here where you can kind of write each letter one by one. That will take time, but it can come in handy sometimes. Number 14 is that you can actually edit the way the control center looks when where the icons are. So scroll down on the control center, hit edit, and you can select and move them around to your liking. Number 15 is you can change the watch orientation. So as you can see, the watch is like backwards looking here. Everything is backwards because I have set it up to use it on the right wrist. So you do this by going into General and Settings, Orientation, and select the wrist that you want to use and the digital crown, what side it will be on, and it will change the orientation. You can also do this through the Watch app on the phone by going to General, Watch Orientation, and same thing, select the wrist and digital crown side. You can also use your Apple Watch as like a nightstand clock by putting it in nightstand mode. So as you can see here, it's sideways and it will show the date and time sideways like an alarm clock. So you do this by going into the Apple Watch app, General, and enable nightstand mode. So you can use your digital crown to change the volume, especially while you're listening to music on like AirPods. Connect it to the AirPods and use the crown to change the volume up and down. So number 19 is the camera app on your Apple Watch. You can open up the app and you will be able to take pictures from your Apple Watch with your iPhone. So you can take a quick pic, or you can select the 3-second option and it will give you 3 seconds to take the picture. You can open up your iPhone Photos app and view the photos taken.
The football stadium. Love. The two-day warriors. And the back-in-the-day heroes. Friday night lighters. The Sunday night nail biters. To the Pee-wee. The JV.
Number 20 is that you can put callers on hold. So if you have an incoming call, you can scroll up with the crown and it gives you the option to answer on iPhone. In case you don't know where your iPhone is, you can select that and give you enough time to find your iPhone by placing the calls on hold. Number 21 is that you can use the crown to view the screen dimmed while in theater mode. So you can scroll it up and down and the screen will dim in and out. Number 22 is theater mode. So if you scroll up in the control center, you will see the two faces. That is theater mode. What it does is it automatically enables silent mode. So it will block all notifications. So I just got a message here just a second ago. And as you can see, notifications have come in. Once you select it again, it will allow notifications again. Number 23 is cover to mute. So if you place your palm on top of the watch for more than 3 seconds, it will completely disable notifications and mute the Apple Watch. And as you can see, if we scroll up to the control center, you will notice that notifications are disabled. To do this, you simply go on the Apple Watch app, go to Sound and Haptics, and enable cover to mute. Number 24 is prominent sound and haptics. So as you can tell, the noise for notifications may be not very loud at all. If you want to change this, you can go to Sound and Haptics in the Apple Watch app and select prominent. And it will be a little bit louder and the sound will change as well. Number 25 is the walkie-talkie app now. So if you open up the walkie-talkie app, you can actually use your Apple Watch like a walkie-talkie with other friends that also use Apple Watch as well. So you select one of your friends, send them an invite, and you can also select whether you want to be shown available or unavailable. You can switch that on or off. Number 25 is Wi-Fi. So with the previous generations and now this one, you can connect to Wi-Fi straight from your Apple Watch without the need of your phone. So just select Wi-Fi in these settings and make sure that you're connected to the right network. With your Apple Watch Series 4, you can listen to podcasts straight from your Apple Watch without the need of your phone. Just open up the podcast app and your saved podcast will be on there. Go ahead and get your AirPods and listen to them as you please. Number 27 is that you can now share your activity and compete. So in your activities app, you will have a bunch of information on your daily exercise. If you open up the Apple Watch activity app, you'll be able to go on the bottom where it says sharing, and you can add your friends here that you want to share with, and you can also compete with them and earn different awards here. So there's competition, and you can actually set goals and monthly challenges as well, so that you can make exercising more fun with your friends. Number 28 is the flashlight on your Apple Watch. So in the control center here, you can select the flashlight. You can scroll.
Likely paying more than you should for business IT support, and your IT guy may even be self-taught, using your systems to learn through trial and error.
The Apple Watch is one of the few product categories that I believe Apple absolutely dominates. It has no competition, and with every iteration, the Apple Watch has become less and less dependent on an iPhone. So ever since Apple introduced cellular connectivity on the Apple Watch, I always wondered if I could go an entire day using only an Apple Watch. so I decided to find out. In this video, I want to take you through my entire day in first-person view and give you real-time battery updates as they happen. Let's go. So my day began at 9:30 in the morning with an alarm that I had set the previous night. I checked the upcoming weather for the day, fed my cat Tiger, and I got ready to head out. My first stop of the day was my morning workout at the gym. I headed out right at 10 a.m. and to my surprise my battery was already down to 92% without much activity. I did turn off the Wi-Fi on the house and I am running the always-on display, so I suspected this was going to be a problem. I arrived at the gym and hooked up a pair of second-generation AirPods to the watch for my music. Inside the gym, I was bummed to find out that my service was actually pretty terrible. I received a few messages and using Siri and my AirPods, I tried to reply using dictation, but I was unable to get it to work.
What is going on, everyone? This is Reviews back with another video, and today I will show you guys some really cool Apple Watch features, stuff that your Apple Watch can do that you probably didn't even know about. So here are 15 things that your Apple Watch can do and you probably never knew that they can be done on your Apple Watch. Now the first one is a feature that we all use on our iPhones, but probably a lot of you guys didn't even know that you can do that on the Apple Watch as well. So let's say you're like on an app and you're like on a list view like this. So here I'm on a message on the iMessage app on the Apple Watch. So of course I can scroll up like this, or I can go ahead and use the crown to scroll up. But what I can do is just tap the clock right there at the status bar and go right to the top. Just like you do on your iPhone, you can do the same thing with your Apple Watch. Just tap right there on the status bar and you will be able to go straight to the top of any list view like this. This next feature I'm about to show you guys is pretty cool. You can see right here, once I raise the wrist, you can see that nice animation right there on the watch face. That's really awesome. Well, actually you can set any of your live pictures as a watch face on your Apple Watch, and every time you raise your wrist, you will see the animation, or you can just tap and hold the screen, not force touch, just tap slightly and hold, and you will see the animation of the live watch face. Now let me show you guys how you can set any of your live pictures as a watch face on your Apple Watch. The process is very simple. All you gotta do is just find any of your live pictures that you want to set as an Apple Watch watch face, and just like you normally do with a normal picture, just tap the share button right there and you will be able to find the create watch face right here. Tap on it, choose the first one, and then you will be able, of course you can add your complications right here. Just tap add, it will add it to the Apple Watch and you will have that live watch face. As I told you guys, every time you wake up your wrist, you will see that little nice animation. On your Apple Watch, of course, you can change the watch faces by force touching on one of them, and then you will see a list of all your watch faces, and you can go ahead and switch between them. Or what you can do is just swipe from the side here like this, and you will be able to go to the next watch face. So you can quickly change between different watch faces simply by swiping like this, like from the side, from the left or the right. You can go ahead and switch between your different watch faces. Now if you have a lot of watch faces on your Apple Watch and you want to change one of them, you go to the list here. Of course you can swipe to go through them like this and choose your favorite one, or you can use the crown to quickly go ahead and move through your watch faces. So use the crown just like that to quickly access any one of your watch faces. Now sometimes it might be harder for you to find an app
What? Walmart Plus can save you over $800 a year in groceries? That's money you can spend on...
Probably already know, Apple just had their annual September event where they released their new Apple Watch Series 6, and they did something this year that they usually don't do. They released a budget Apple Watch SE model alongside the premium Series 6. And to make choosing a new watch even more difficult, they're continuing to sell the Series 3 model, which is now on sale on Amazon for only $169, making it $110 less expensive than the Apple Watch SE and $230 less expensive than the Series 6. The point that I'm making is that it's probably never been more tough for new Apple Watch buyers to choose the right model for your needs and your budget, or potentially for your child, thanks to the new family setup feature which I'll get into in just a minute. So what I'm going to do in this video is explain every single difference between those 3 Apple Watch models, and then I'm going to recommend one for each different use case, doing my best to make sure that you don't make any purchasing mistakes. So before we jump in, be sure to check out our premium Apple product hoodie down below to keep you nice and warm and cozy as these final days of summer are slowly fading away. Oh, and by the way, thank you guys for getting our video from yesterday on YouTube's trending page. Definitely check out that video if you already have an Apple Watch and you're thinking of upgrading to the Series 6. Now getting back to the difference between the 3 Apple Watch models, the biggest visible change is the available finishes. The Series 3 just gets silver or space gray aluminum, while the SE adds gold aluminum. But the Series 6 goes all out, adding 2 brand new aluminum finishes, blue and product red. On top of that, you can choose unique stainless steel or titanium finishes, but those models are priced much higher than the others. The SE and Series 6 also come with a case that's 11% thinner than the one on the Series 3, so it helps them feel a little bit more premium. But by far, the most important feature that I think holds the most value is the fact that the Series 3 uses the smaller legacy display that is squared off, while the other 2 have larger displays with rounded corners which feel much more modern and make it easier to read what's on the display. Another interesting point is that while the Series 3 supports some of the new watch faces, it's limited to a smaller version, like the Fire watch face. And there are a lot of new watch faces that are only available on the Series 4 or newer Apple Watch models. Another difference is found on the back, with the ceramic and sapphire crystal back on the Series 6 and SE instead of a composite back for the Series 3. And as you can see, the new back looks much more modern. That's also because the new watches come with the 2nd gen optical heart sensor, a better accelerometer that can measure up to 32 G-forces, which allows it to enable the fall detection feature, which can automatically notify a designated contact or the authorities if it detects a fall and no further movement. The new SE and Series 6 also get a built-in compass, an always-on altimeter, a speaker that's 50% louder, haptic feedback built into the digital crown, 32 gigabytes of storage instead of only 8 gigabytes on the Series 3, and a better microphone which enables the noise monitoring feature. In terms of spec differences, they both get LTPO displays which are more efficient. They both get Apple's updated W3 wireless chip, which is also more efficient. They both get Bluetooth 5, and perhaps the biggest deal is the fact that the Series 3 cannot be configured with LTE cellular service, so it has to be in range of your iPhone or using Wi-Fi. This means that the Series 3 doesn't get international emergency calling, but it does support emergency SOS only if your iPhone is nearby. The Series 6 and SE can do this by themselves if you buy an LTE model. And because of that, you can use family setup, which means that you can set up an Apple Watch without requiring an iPhone, which is perfect for kids. In terms of performance, the Series 3 comes with the S3 chip, the SE gets the S5 chip, and the Series 6 gets the S6 chip. We personally found the S3 chip to be a little bit too slow, with the S5 being perfectly smooth, so we're not sure if the brand new S6 chip in the Series 6 is going to make that big of a difference in the real world. Surprisingly, all 3 of these models have the same 50 meters of water resistance. They can all notify you of any heart rate discrepancies, and they all have the same 18 hours of rated battery life. As far as the bands, they all support the same ones, even the brand new Solo Loop. But since the case on the Series 3 is slightly smaller, you should probably order a slightly larger band to account for the difference. Now before we finally get into our Apple Watch buyer's guide, there are a couple of features that are exclusive to the Series 6 that I want to mention. It of course gets the always-on display, which stays dimly lit instead of simply shutting off when it's in standby mode. And it's now 2.5 times brighter than on the Series 5 when in always-on mode. It also gets the exclusive ECG test feature and the brand new blood oxygen measurement feature, which can be a huge deal for people with health issues. On top of that, it's the very first Apple Watch to support the 5 GHz band Wi-Fi connection, and it's the first to get Apple's new ultra-wideband chip, which could enable some really cool features down the road. So there you guys go. There are all the differences between those Apple Watch models. And with that, let's get into the buyer's guide. If you're someone who really cares about the fashion aspect of owning an Apple Watch, and you don't really have a limited budget, then the Series 6 is probably the best choice for you because it comes in the largest variety of finishes. So you can, for example, get a gold stainless steel case and a matching chain link band, which looks very premium. On top of that, the Series 6 supports the always-on display, making it look more like a real watch when you're not using it. And of course, it comes with the best specs and all the new unique features like ECG, blood oxygen monitoring, and the U1 chip. But I'd say that if those features don't really matter much to you, and you're looking for the best bang then the Apple Watch SE is probably the best choice because it packs the same design and almost all of the same features as the Series 6. The most important one is the larger display with rounded corners, which makes the biggest difference for day-to-day use. The S5 chip isn't as fast, but in our experience, it performs very well and doesn't limit you in any way, like the Series 3's S3 chip does. It also gets the same second-gen sensors, 32 gigs of storage, and improvements like the
Hello everyone, today we'll take a look at the best Samsung watches in the market for 2021. I made this list based on my personal opinion, and I'll try to help you find the right one for your needs. To see the most up-to-date prices and find out more information about these watches, you can check out the links in the description below. Before we start, I have a question for you guys. Which watch are you using right now, and what is your opinion on it? Let me know in the comments. Number 5. Samsung Galaxy Watch Active. Best for the money. The Galaxy Watch Active's lightweight and simple design make it better for working out and wearing to bed than previous models. It packs in health and fitness features at a lower price than its competitors and works on both Android and iOS. There is another circular smartwatch from Samsung. Unlike on the Galaxy Watch, there's no rotating bezel here in what we believe is an attempt to make a sportier design for the wearable. If that is the intention, it has worked. It feels a lot lighter on the wrist than the larger device, and it's noticeably thinner on the wrist without losing the premium look of the Galaxy Watch. There is 4 GB of storage on the watch, but that'll get used up quite quickly. After installing the basic software, we found it had 1.5 GB of space left over. The Samsung Galaxy Watch Active comes sporting the latest version of Tizen, which a few years ago was one of the more limited smartwatch operating systems. Samsung expects you to get over 45 hours, a very strangely specific number, out of a single charge of the Samsung Galaxy Watch Active. And the good news is that it's quite reflective of the performance we saw. This smartwatch may have the name Active, and it is great for fitness-focused potential buyers, but it's more than just a running watch. Number 4. Samsung Galaxy Watch. Best for most people. The Samsung Galaxy Watch is one of the best smartwatches Samsung has ever made. It's more attractive, has brilliant battery life, and comes packing some neat new fitness tracking abilities. When it comes to design, this unique model of silver and black colour has 3 strap options: Onyx Black, Deep Ocean Blue, and Basalt Grey. As for performance, this smartwatch is powered by a dual-core 1.15 GHz Exynos 9110 processor, which makes it sufficiently zippy and feels quicker. As for the display, this version comes with a 1.3-inch AMOLED display and has 360 by 360 resolution. On a display of this size, it's more than enough for text and graphics to look sharp. The screen is also vibrant, colourful, and easy to see in direct sunlight. The inky deep blacks look great and provide for plenty of contrast. It's important to mention that the Galaxy Watch is water resistant up to 50 metres for 10 minutes. Regarding memory, it packs a 0.75 RAM memory and 4 GB of internal storage. It can be considered enough memory space, giving you a possibility to fulfil your needs. Another area where Samsung has a huge advantage over the majority of its rivals is battery life. The manufacturer claims that the 46mm watch can last for up to 7 days, which is an incredible stat. To conclude, if you decide for this top smartwatch, you won't regret your decision. Number 3. Samsung Galaxy Watch Active 2. Best for active people. Most of the fitness watches come with designs that make them look like alien technology or really out of place. And if you want a watch that'll look good on every occasion, I recommend you buy the Samsung Galaxy Watch Active 2. This watch may be costly, but it's excellent, coming in with a big and detailed display, nice rotating dial, tons of sensors, great battery life, and the design that'll fit in with every style. In terms of colours, it's available in aqua black, cloud silver, and pink gold, all of which look good, and the last thing you need to worry about is style with this device, since its round shape looks pretty much perfect with various attire. On the front part, it has a 1.2-inch Super AMOLED panel with a 360 by 360 resolution, and on
Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Donovan, and tonight I want to address a comment that I got specifically on a video that I did for the Apple Watch Series 4. So I believe I made the video about 3 months ago, and someone named Cornelius, he's right over here, made a comment in that video basically saying that the Apple Watch Series 4 is not a watch that is for serious runners. So basically he was saying, you're not a serious runner, the Apple Watch Series 4, stop reviewing it because it's not a watch for serious runners. Well, I beg to differ. And he also said in that video, or in the comments, that the Garmin Vivo Active 3 Music, also not a serious watch for runners. The Samsung Galaxy Watch, also same thing. And the Amazfit Stratus. So also, he said basically if none of those watches are for serious runners, you need to review something like a Polar Vantage or the Suunto 9 or the Garmin Fenix 5 Plus or Plus line. And so with that being said, about a month ago, I decided to take them up on that offer. I went out and got myself a Garmin Fenix 5 Plus. I've had it a month now. I've been using both these watches. So yeah, I'm one of those weirdos wearing 2 watches all the time now. And I review a lot of watches. So I want to go ahead and compare these 2 watches tonight. Kind of a weird comparison because I don't think they're really designed for the same group of people. But I want to talk about I would call myself a serious runner. I run about 6-7 miles every single day. I've been running marathons and half marathons for over half my life at this point. So yeah, I can call myself a serious runner. And tonight I want to talk about, from a runner's perspective, which one of these 2 watches is the better watch for me personally. Now, for you, it might be a different story. What watch works for me might be different than what watch works for you. So let me just go ahead and get to it. We're going to go ahead and compare up the Garmin Fenix 5 Plus to the Apple Watch Series 4.
Monday Night Football is only on NFL Network. Saquon and the Giants.
I want to go ahead and compare between these 2 watches is the prices. So if you're looking into these 2 watches, chances are you probably already know a little bit about the prices, and it's real obvious that both of these are luxury purchases regardless of which one you get. Now the Garmin Fenix line, the 5 line that is, 5 Plus line I should say, starts off at $649, goes all the way up to $1,100. So there's the 5S Plus, which is the cheapest one at $649 for the non-Sapphire edition, and you go all the way up to $1,100 for the 5X Plus, so a little bit larger than one you see here. And That one goes up to $1,100 if you get the Sapphire Edition. Now the version you see here, this is the 5 Plus non-Sapphire Edition. This one was $700 regularly. I was able to pick it up for $550 on a Black Friday deal, so I got it for $150 off. Now this watch over here, the Apple Watch Series 4, you can get the cheapest version of it, the 42mm one with just GPS, no cellular service. That one is $400. The version you see here is regularly $500. So this is the 44mm with cellular connection. So I paid $10 a month through T-Mobile to get cellular connection to this device. And the most expensive one, I believe, is $800, or at least that was the most expensive one I was able to find. Basically, you just get stainless steel here, and then you also get a different version or nicer band here. I believe it's the Milanese band is the one that costs $800. So either way, regardless of which one you're looking at, they're both very expensive devices. So certainly, if you're looking for something more budget-friendly, I wouldn't recommend either of these two watches. I'd probably recommend something like the Amazfit Stratus, a fantastic GPS smartwatch designed specifically for runners that you can get for less than $200. Alright, so now let's go ahead and talk about the design of the two watches, and there are quite a few differences when it comes to the design of these two. First of all, this one has an always-on display, whereas the Apple Watch Series 4 does not have an always-on display. In fact, I can just shut it off by covering up the display, as you saw there. This one has a much more rugged design. As you can see, we have stainless steel here on the front and on the back. You do also have that option of sapphire glass, which I believe the Apple Watch Series 4 does have a sapphire glass option as well. We have physical buttons. There's 5 physical buttons here on the Garmin, and those physical buttons are basically how you're going to interact with the watch. There is no touchscreen at all. And that's definitely an advantage when it comes to if you're going to get all sweaty on the watch. Obviously, it's going to be an advantage to have the option of using physical buttons. So when you're doing splits, that's another one where you can do splits much more easily if you have the option of physical buttons. And yeah, just in general, I would say as a runner, I definitely prefer being able to use physical buttons in order to do splits and things like that. So that is definitely an advantage here. Obviously, again, much more rugged than what you get here on the Apple Watch Series 4. And there's our heart rate sensor and our charging dock there as well. All right, so that's the design of the Fenix 5 Plus. The Apple Watch Series 4, I'm not going to call this a dainty design, but some would call it a girly design. I definitely don't feel like this is girly in any way, but it obviously has a square design versus a circular design. This one is going to be obviously a little bit more prone because look at here, we have our glass right here that's not being protected, whereas the glass on here is protected by that stainless steel lip over here. You're probably going to want to get a case to protect it if you're worried about it. I've actually never had a case on mine for 3 months. I've been using it, no issues at all. There might be some scratches along the edges, but I don't really care. It's a watch, and I don't care if my glass gets a little bit scratched, not a big deal to me. But here, obviously, everything's going to be touch interacting. We do have 2 physical buttons. This one's going to be our crown, so that's kind of cool. We can go into our apps and we can interact with things with that crown, so that twist. So you're probably familiar with that. And then we have a second physical button here. Now, one major difference you have with the Apple Watch Series 4 is we do also have a microphone and no speaker on here, but we do have a heart rate sensor that works very, very well. So that is pretty much the design of the Apple Watch Series 4. One advantage I would say the Apple Watch Series 4 has in terms of design is the fact that the bands are removable, which they are also on the Garmin Fenix 5 Plus. However, there's just a lot more options available out there. A lot of third-party sellers making bands for the Apple Watch Series 4. Alright, so now I want to go ahead and talk about the functionality of these two watches and compare them up. And let me just be very clear, there is absolutely no possible way for me to cover all the functionality designed specifically for runners built into these two watches, and certainly not all of the functionality of these two watches, because that would be nearly impossible. For me, there's basically 3 things that I find important that I want when I'm running. So number 1 is the heart rate sensor. GPS is very, very important. And number 3, and this is what makes me kind of a softie when it comes to running, but I want to be able to listen to, at a minimum, be able to listen to music. So all those things are available on both of these watches. And the Garmin Fenix 5 Plus, when it comes to music, we have a number of options. So here is a song that I have currently on the watch. And if I go into this, so I'm going to use this physical button over here, to go into it, and we'll use the menu and then go into my library, and you can see that I have a number of Spotify playlists here that I have downloaded onto the watch. And when you go into the watch, you can actually just re-upload. So these are Spotify playlists. You have to be a Spotify premium member in order to download playlists to the watch, but it does have the option of iHeartRadio. I believe it also has Deezer as an option available here as well, which I technically am subscribed to as well. But you do have a number of options, but then you can also transfer music over to the watch as well. Now when it comes to the fitness features, another thing, obviously this one has all-day heart rate, and plus having that always on screen is really nice while you're running. Now with the Apple Watch Series 4, you basically just flip it up while you're running, and it's going to turn on immediately, so it's basically like always on, except that it's not really literally always on. Also, another advantage here is that this one is going to be very visible in any kind of light. Now in the dark, you do have the light, and if you flip it up, it will turn the light on as well in the dark. Whereas over here, this one is an AMOLED display. It's actually plenty bright during the day. I've never had any issues seeing it even in the brightest sunlight, so that's really not a complaint there. It's just that this one has that always-on display available as well. Over here, this is probably an area where I'd say the Garmin Fenix 5 Plus has the biggest advantage, other than having like downloaded maps right onto the watch. So if you're out on trails, you have that available as well. But you have here basically your training productivity. So it's going to tell you your VO2 max, which technically the Apple Watch Series 4 also will show you. It gives you kind of like how long you should wait to run again, your training load, so it's going to let you know where your training load is. And then this is kind of cool. This is actually one of my favorite features, and it's not really useful. Honestly, you could look this up and go to like a race predictor calculator, but I really like the fact that it has this race predictor, so that's kind of cool. My goal is actually to get down closer to like 2:45 for the marathon here pretty soon. I'll be running one in June. And then you can go into your last workout right here on the watch as well. And it's going to give you a bunch of details, so tons of information. I mean, there's definitely no shortage of data when it comes to running or whatever fitness activity you're doing. If it's cycling, swimming, or any of the other fitness activities you might be involved in, this one has a ton of options. But obviously for me as a runner, it has the three things I want. Now, when it comes to the Apple Watch Series 4, again, we have our heart rate sensor. We have GPS, and it's been very, very accurate. And you can see there's a ton of other options here when it comes to working out. Now, a big advantage, again, is the fact that this one has physical buttons, whereas here we're going to do a touch screen. And so if I start a run, let's say I'm out on a run, and I go ahead and start it. So first of all, it's going to start off right now, not even going to tell me that I have GPS locked. But then if I want to end it, I have to swipe over and hit end. So that's how you're going to end it. And actually, this is kind of annoying, but you can't really go in and see that workout. It won't even show you that on the watch. There's nowhere to go in and see it. So that's a little bit unfortunate. However, of course, you can use pretty much any app that you want with the workout. So let's say you want Strava. You can use Strava. Or you can use Runkeeper, any of the fitness apps, whatever one you might use to track your workouts. It's pretty much available here. So Map My Run, Strava, yeah. So anyways, they're all there. Now, the one thing that I really love about the Apple Watch Series 4, especially the cellular version, is the fact that I have radio. So I can pretty much, so rather than having to listen to the same playlist over and over, which you can transfer those, you can change those up with Spotify. But here I can go into stations. You can see, I mean, pretty much whatever I feel like listening to at the moment I can listen to. I even listened on Monday to the National Championship football game while I was running with ESPN Radio, so that's really cool. Also, podcasts. I'm a huge podcast junkie, so over here I can listen to my podcasts as well, so tons of options there. So whatever podcasts you have on your phone, you can also listen here. So you can download them, or if you have the cellular version, you can just listen to them whenever you want. So that's also very cool. And other apps that I like to use here, we also have, of course, Apple Music. So I have some of my playlists downloaded right onto the watch. Some other things worth mentioning here. So I mentioned here that the Garmin Fenix 5 Plus has the maps. So that's definitely maybe a disadvantage here, except right over here, this little app called View Ranger. You can actually download maps right onto the watch. So just like what you would get here, you could download them right onto the watch over here using this app called View Ranger. And there are other ones. available as well. But you can see, go into the map, and I can actually like track myself while I'm out, and you can see there's some stats here, and it's going to go into, basically this is more for like if you're on a trail, just like what you would be doing over here with the Garmin Fenix 5 Plus. And it will actually like show you the trails and things like that, especially if you have them pre-downloaded onto the watch. But there's a ton more that both these watches can do. There's definitely no way for me to go into every single thing that they can do. But overall, I think the Apple Watch Series 4 really matches up quite well. The disadvantage the Apple Watch Series 4 has, of course, is with intervals. So if you're a big interval trainer, you're going to have to use the touchscreen to do intervals, which is a bit, it's not the best. And we do have an app up here that I use for interval training, so it's actually called literally Intervals. Whereas over here, it's pretty much just built right into the watch. And then, of course, the fact that this one has physical buttons, again, is a huge advantage. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is the battery life of these two watches, and there's zero question about which one of these two has the better battery life. Generally speaking, if I'm using the Apple Watch Series 4 heavily, meaning I'm listening to my music and GPS while I'm running, in general, I run about 6, 7, 8 miles a day. I can get through a day and a half. If I'm pushing it, I might be able to get through 2 full workouts or 2 full days with the Apple Watch Series 4. But that would be pushing it. There's no question there. It does charge up pretty fast, so that's awesome. But yeah, in order to get through 2 full days, you have to kind of use it minimally. Now, if you're not using it for GPS and you're not using it for Bluetooth, listening to music while you're running, then you can actually probably get 3 days, but that's if you're using it super, super lightly. Whereas with the Garmin Fenix 5 Plus, I can easily get through 4 or 5 days of battery, and that's using the GPS all the time for workouts. So I pretty much, every time I go for a run, I'm always using the Garmin Fenix 5 Plus. Now, if you use the Bluetooth music, that is going to burn through the battery a little bit faster, but again, there's zero question you're going to be able to get through a minimum, I would say, of 3 to 4 days. And generally speaking, I'm getting more like 5, maybe 6 days of battery life on the Garmin Fenix 5 Plus. So there's no question here. If you are somebody who's going to be on maybe you're an Ironman triathlete, clearly the Apple Watch Series 4 is not going to last through that entire thing. If you're an ultra-marathon runner, then you definitely want something more like the Garmin Fenix 5 Plus. Again, the Apple Watch Series 4 is clearly not meant for ultra-marathoners as well. But battery life, clearly the Garmin Fenix 5 Plus is the winner. Alright, so the last thing I want to address is who are these watches for. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with the Garmin Fenix 5 Plus. And I want to mention a few groups of people that I think this watch could be for. So number one, if you are someone who likes to go out hiking a lot, you're on a lot of different trails often, the map options here that are available are fantastic for that. If you're an ultra-marathoner, obviously this could be a fantastic watch for you. If you're a triathlete, because of the fact you have physical buttons, you can easily track your triathlon as you switch from swimming to biking to running. So definitely for triathletes. Also, if you're a super serious runner and you're doing a lot of interval training, I definitely think there's a huge advantage to having something like the Garmin Fenix 5 Plus because of the physical buttons. I should also mention here that the Garmin 645 Music could also be a great option for you as well, and it's considerably less expensive. I think it's more like $400 for that one. The difference there is that you don't have the built-in maps for that watch. But Garmin Fenix 5 Plus, there you go, there's a group of people that that one's for. The Apple Watch Series 4, I should also mention that this works with both Android and iOS. You just can't respond to text messages if it's connected up to an iPhone. So obviously the Apple Watch Series 4 unfortunately only works with iPhone users, so if you're an Android user, you might as well not even consider this one. But who is the Apple Watch Series 4? And I would say pretty much any other runner. I mean, the average runner, I would say this is for you. But even super serious runners, I mean, yeah, there are some workarounds that you're going to have to deal with. So like if you do interval training, you'll have to use something like that. Or you just won't be able to do intervals necessarily. Personally, I don't ever really do intervals. I'm more of a progression runner. So I start off really slow, and then by the end of a run, I'm running a whole lot faster and actually doing speed workout by the end of the run. That's how I do it. That's not for everyone, and honestly, the Apple Watch Series 4, for me personally, if I could only pick one of these two watches to personally own, for me it would definitely be the Apple Watch Series 4 number 1, because of the fact that it has music, it has GPS that's very accurate, heart rate sensor very accurate, all those things are awesome, and I've probably become spoiled by the fact that, yes, I have a ton of options for listening while I'm out on my run. So yeah, that for me is kind of like the selling point of the Apple Watch Series 4. I'm a spoiled runner, I know. But with that being said, let me know what you guys think. Anything that I missed, maybe that I should have added into my comparison of these two watches, something that you think is definitely a make or break for one of these two watches, let me know down in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next time.